Maddie, and I'm your robotics educator, and I'm going to be showing you how to create a robotic arm with the Clover Crate. The first item you'll find inside your Clover Crate is your instruction guide. The next pieces you'll find are 7 cardboard templates. This is for creating your robot. You'll also find 3 syringes with tubing attached, 1 syringe with tubing attached, but also a piece of metal, and 4 syringes in a package. You will also be given a glue gun and glue for the glue gun. You will also be provided 13 zip ties, 1 wooden skewer, 4 wooden popsicle sticks, 20 toothpicks in a baggie, 1 AA battery, and a paper plate. To complete this activity, you're going to need 2 additional items from home: scissors and any form of tape. As you can see on some of these templates, some of the pieces have dots on them. We are going to be taking our skewer and pushing holes through them. This is what your pieces should look like after skewering them. Next, you are going to take your battery and put it in the middle of A, B, and C and trace the circle. When you're finished, they should look like this. You're going to take pieces A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and put all the rest aside. We are going to be cutting out each of the shapes along the lines. We are also going to be cutting out the circles that we've drawn on B, C, and A. This is what A, B, C, D, E, F, G should all look like. Next, we are going to be putting our battery through our holes, starting with A, and then adding B, and then adding C. This is part 1 of your base completed. We are now going to make the second part of our base. We are going to need piece E, D, and F, and also our hot glue. So what we're first going to do is we're going to take piece E, and we're going to put it so it's on its back. So then the letter is not facing us. And we're going to take piece F, and we're going to put glue on this part right here. We want to put the piece right below the lowest hole, and then hold it there while it dries. I'm going to set it down. This is how I would recommend letting it dry so then it doesn't accidentally fall off. Now that it's there, we're going to take our glue. We're going to add more glue on this side of the F. We're going to take our D piece and we are going to lay it down so that it is also sitting on the F piece. I'm going to lift them up so that I make sure that their bottoms are at the same height. We are now going to connect base part 1 and base part 2. How we're going to do this is we're going to lift our part 2 base and we're going to put glue down these 2 spots. And then we are going to set it right in the middle so that the battery isn't touching the F piece and that it's sitting in the middle of the C piece. That is your completed base. For this next part, we are going to need the G pieces that we didn't use on the base, and then the board H, I, J, K, L. And here are them cut out. We are now going to make the forearm. And to do this, we need H, I, all 4 G's, and 2 scraps where we're going to write E on one and D on the other. Now we are going to line them all up. We want to put a G first, and then we are going to take D, and then we're going to place H, and then we are going to place another G, and then another G, and then I, and then E, and then G again. It's also important that when you're using your H and I piece to make sure that the holes go from middle out to the right, out to the left, and then middle again. We are going to do a dry fit right now, which means to not add glue and just see the pieces in the correct spot, and then we'll add glue afterwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a toothpick and we're going to put it through our G, the first one. slide it right through the hole, and then we are going to put it through the D base. That's what this filler piece meant. So we're going to slide that through the hole, and now that it's sitting in here, we are going to take the H piece, and we're going to make sure that the hole is at the top. So we're going to stick that through, and now we are going to take our next G piece that we had placed and put it on, and we are sandwiching the forearm of our robot in between two G pieces. We are then going to grab another G piece, and we're going to put that on the same toothpick. This toothpick holds a lot of the cardboard. We are then going to take our eyepiece, and again, the exact same way that this forearm is put in, we are going to put that right on the board. Then we see that we have our E piece, which means that we'll put it through this arm. And once it's all the way through, let me turn this so you guys can see it. Once it's all the way through on this side, we're going to cap it off with another G. Now looking at it head on, it looks a little clustered. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate by the two G's. And this is how our forearm will look pre-glue. And when you're gluing your forearm, I want you to put glue on both sides of your G pieces, so on the outside and on the inside, and you'll push them against the barriers. So each G piece here has glue on the inside and on the outside. We're going to make sure that our H piece can move freely. We're going to take another toothpick and we're going to put it through the lower hole on the D and E base. It's going to go through both holes all the way across, and then we're going to glue it into place on the outer and on the inner side. We will now be attaching toothpicks to the forearm. So we're going to take our toothpick and we're going to go for our two middle pieces. We are not putting any toothpicks in the end holes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our toothpick, slide it through the hole on both sides. And once it's through, try and make sure that the toothpick is equal as possible on both sides. Then take one J piece and put it on the outside of your toothpick, and take another J piece and put it on the other side of your toothpick. We are again going to glue it, and we're going to do the same sandwiching we did with the G, so we're going to put it on the inside and on the outside. And we are going to repeat this process with the other middle piece. And now we have added our toothpicks to the forearm. So now we're going to connect the arm to the forearm, which is right here. We're going to take our K and L piece. As you can see, there's 3 holes on one side and then 1 hole very far away. Now this part's a little bit tricky. We're going to take our K piece and we're going to put a toothpick through the hole on our arm and then through the second hole on our K and L piece. So I'm going to put the toothpick right through this hole. And slide it on. And now, similar to how we did the forearms here, we're going to put the L same way so that it's through the second hole. We're going to attach it in here as well. And then slide the toothpick all the way across, and it's okay if they touch right now. And once the forearms and arms are attached, we're going to put glue on the inside, connecting the arm to the toothpick, but only on the inner side. We don't want to connect our arm to the forearm. We are now going to add toothpicks to our arm, so we're going to put toothpicks through both of these holes, these ones and these ones. And for these top ones, we're going to put the J's on the outside like we did over here on the forearm. For this next part, we're going to need our M, N, and O board, and we're going to cut it out so it looks like this at the end. We're now going to take our robot and we're going to turn it so it's facing away from us. We're going to take our M piece and make sure that the hole is facing towards us, and we are going to add glue to the back. We are now going to take this piece and we're going to glue it onto our C base. Once that's dry, we're going to take one of our O pieces and we're going to add glue onto the back of it as well. We are then going to try and set the O piece in the middle of the M piece. We're going to repeat that by stacking all the O pieces on top of each other. We're going to fill up the hole on the M piece. Once you've filled it up, we are going to take a toothpick and we're going to stick it in the hole and we're going to hold it till it dries. So we're now going to take one of our syringes with a tube attached, not the one with the metal piece. And we are going to take the little hole that is drilled into the plunger and we are going to put it through the toothpick. We want to set it so that our syringe is facing this way. And then we are going to take our last piece, our end piece, and we're going to put glue on this O piece and put this on top as a sandwich. Make sure that the hole here goes through the toothpick. Put some glue on the top of the toothpick to seal it in. There you go, you've attached your first syringe to the arm. We're now going to add our next syringe. So we're going to take one of our zip ties and put it through the hole on the plunger. Now, you're going to take your Roboarm and you're going to face it towards you because it makes it easier to attach. I'm going to do it from the side so it's easier to see what I'm doing. We are now going to take our syringe and we're going to wrap the zip tie around the inner part of the middle toothpick on the forearm. Take the zip tie and wrap it around the toothpick, and then once it's fully around, we're going to stick the one end into the other and pull it tight. After doing that, we're going to add 2 more zip ties. But you should do this where it's facing yourself. We're going to take the tubing and we're going to push it through so it passes the battery so it faces back. Your syringe should be right up against this lower toothpick. And we're going to take zip ties and we're going to crisscross them and zip tie the syringe to the toothpick. So we're now going to connect another syringe. Again, it's not the one with the metal piece on the end. We are again going to take one of our zip ties and put it through the hole here on the syringe. We are going to take this and we are going to zip tie it onto the connector between the forearm and the arm. So we are going to take another zip tie and we're going to crisscross it similarly to how we did it earlier. Cross this to just hold it in place. Now returning to the back side of our arm, we are going to take the syringe that we hooked through the toothpick and we are going to turn it diagonally. Figure out where you want it to rest. This is really up to you. Once you find your location, you're going to make holes with your skewer on both sides of the plunger and then up at the top of your syringe. This can be all the way towards the end or towards the middle. After we've made the holes, we're going to put zip ties through here and here. So to do this zip tie right here, you're going to have the head of your zip tie going across the plunger right here. And you're going to put the tail underneath so it pops up right on the other side. Then you're going to cross it over to make an X on top of the plunger. The tail that's underneath currently is going to go in the first hole on this side of the plunger and then come back up through this side. You're then going to guide the tail into the head. You need your PQRS board and cut it out. This is what it will look like when it's finished. We are now going to take our P piece, put glue, and fill the outer holes of the P piece, similar to how we did earlier. And we are going to put 2 toothpicks in those holes. And we're going to hold them till they dry. After the toothpicks have dried, we're going to add more glue on top, and we're going to put our S pieces on top. So we're going to slide them down We are now going to attach the metal to the grabbers. So for this, we're actually going to take our Q piece and we're going to flip it upside down. We're going to take this and we're going to put the metal through the inner hole on our arms. Once this is complete, we are going to add glue to the top and glue the metal into place. We are now going to take our grabber and we're going to combine it with the platform. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the toothpicks through the outer holes of the grabber. Sometimes you'll have to adjust the metal in order it to fit properly. Once it's down, we're going to take the glue and we're going to secure it on the toothpick. We're now going to be attaching our grabber to our arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to put glue right here so then we can lay this piece on top. We are now going to attach zip ties to this syringe. We are going to again do the crisscross style with using this toothpick. Pull it tight. And then you're going to take these and you're going to go one above the plunger and then one below the plunger. Now we're going to create the control pad. So we're going to need piece T, our 4 packaged syringes, and tape. Take our newly opened syringes and we're going to fill them with water. After this, we're going to set them down on top of our T-piece. We want to make sure that the plunger isn't on the T-piece so that they can still go in and out. What we're going to do is we're going to fill up all 3 of these and put them on, and once we're done, we're going to tape them. We are now going to do our final step and combine our control pad with the syringes. So we're going to take different tubes and we're going to put them so they connect. You want to make sure that you push them down so that it creates a nice tight seal. And we're going to do that for each